Hey guys, Steve Grant here. Welcome to Gym Hub. If this is your first time, welcome to Gym Hub website. Perhaps you joined us at Philex this year for the live presentation. You're interested in more tips on how to stand out with your fitness marketing, or perhaps you just stumbled over the Gym Hub website. As you may be aware, we help gym owners with sales, marketing, and high performance teams. And yeah, if you're watching this video, what we're going to cover today is the 10-step checklist that you can go through to stand out with your fitness marketing. It's short and sharp. If you need more info at the end, I'll leave some details, but I hope this is an opportunity where you can perhaps identify something out of the 10 that you're already doing well. Cross that off the list. Don't bother taking any notes on that. But if you do have a pen and paper handy, I would recommend looking for something out of this list of 10 that you're not doing at the moment that you could implement in the next 30 days so we can generate more leads and drop your cost of marketing. I hope you find it useful. Let me, I want to share with you my slideshow. Okay. So there is a little PDF download if it makes it easier to go through the 10-step checklist. I hope you can find that next to the video. So the first step, use your own story. So when it comes to fitness marketing, the challenge that we have at the moment is that most gyms are doing the exact same thing. We offer, our offers are things like no joining fee, 1 week free trial. Our equipment is essentially the same. Almost all gyms are now 24-hour access. So it's same. So what I spoke about at Philex was that what we need to do is actually tell a little bit more about our own story. Now, the reason we want to tell our story is because this is something that's unique and it's really hard to copy. So although we might, put on a weight loss challenge, we might introduce yoga into our fitness facility, and then our competitor can race off and do the same. What they can't do is they can't copy our story. So the reason I like to have a story there is it helps people to sort of connect with us and remember a little bit about us. It also enables people to talk about us. So if they connect and they sort of relate to our story, they can be sitting over a dinner table, sharing their experience and what they sort of liked about your brand. Couple of little tips when it comes to creating your own story. Follow these 3 steps. Number 1, why did you get into the fitness industry in the first place? Number 2, what do you stand against? So it's important to hear what you're interested in, but what you stand against is really important and resonates with a lot of people. And number 3, how did you come up with your secret sauce? So if I'm the general public or if I'm your target market and I'm introduced to your business for the first time, I'd like to think that there's been a little bit of a process in coming up with your formula and something that makes that formula a little bit unique. And that attracts me to your business. If you take Tom's Shoes, for example, this was a great story. This was a guy who in 2006 travels to Argentina for a bit of a break. He sort of immerses himself in the culture, gets interested in the tango, and he starts eating the food, and he loves sort of the place. And he notices that, I wrote it down here, they noticed that the locals are wearing this casual canvas shoe. It's called an alpargata, and it's sort of a versatile shoe that they're wearing throughout Argentina, and they wear it in cities, in farms, in nightclubs, and he thought perhaps there's a little bit of a connection here where we could use this in America. At the same time, he also noticed a friend of his, a girl that was going out on a shoe drive, and this was basically where they were taking old shoes and they were handing them to less fortunate people who didn't have shoes. So the story behind Tom's was not only was he able to come up with a shoe that was popular with the American market and people could connect with, but by him sharing his story about why he came up with it, and by him sharing that with every purchase of Tom's shoes, he would actually donate a set of shoes to these kids in Argentina that couldn't afford them. It enabled his brand to kind of stand out amongst the competition. There were Nikes and Reeboks and all these other really big brands and other big players in the marketplace, but his story enabled him to connect with the target market. His story enabled him to be memorable, enabled people to share it and tell the story, and to sort of feel good about the purchase as well. So my recommendation, use and tell your own story if you want to stand out with your marketing. Number 2, target one clear market. So you've heard this one before where we target one clear market. The important thing here, I guess, I do understand as a gym owner myself, I understand that there's financial pressure And there's, there is reasons why we might sort of try and help a whole bunch of people, regardless of whether they're our target market. It might be the financial stress. It might be just the fact that you can help people with weight loss or fitness goals or something like that. So it's not coming from a bad point. You're actually trying to help. The challenge is with marketing, history has shown us that the companies that actually invest their time and their money into communicating why their product is the right fit for just one market, they're the ones that are most successful. So the next slide explains what I recommend in doing to communicate with that target market. So don't just sort of nominate women as your target market. I suggest that you actually niche down 3 times. So you, for example, might choose women, you might choose fat loss, and you might choose women who like personal training. So instead of just having like a very broad sort of target market, you've actually niched down 3 different times. So when it comes time to actually write the copy for your advert, you can speak to their wants, their needs, their frustrations, and their aspirations, because you're thinking and you're picturing in your head just those women who want weight loss and who enjoy personal training. If, for example, your 3 niches is like men who are interested in strength training, who really enjoy group training, again, you can choose an image that's specific to that person. You can communicate your marketing message in a more strategic manner. Instead of just communicating it to everyone, you can get it to where your target market already is. So you can choose them specifically on Facebook. You can choose a document like the Wall Street Journal or something that that your target market's actually going to read. Number 3, grow your asset. What I mean by this is growing your email list. So a lot of our communication these days is through social media, and we might have thousands of contacts there that follow us and like what we're doing. My recommendation is to actually bring that, all those followers, and get them onto your email list. Your email list is your asset. It's something that, those social media companies can't take off you if tomorrow they decide to sort of change their rules. And it sort of enables you to communicate with your people at a very, very low cost for emails. How do you build up this marketing email list? One, you can do like old school outreach. You might set up at a shopping center. You might go to a school fete or something like that. You do some sort of giveaway, and you get maybe 100 people who will write down their details to enter a competition. You get those 100 emails, put them into your CRM, and you start building up your email database that you communicate with. You can do things on Facebook. You might do a free report, a checklist. You might do a video tips on how to perform a deadlift, whatever it might be. If it communicates to your target audience in exchange for an email, it's going to help you to build up your list. Alternatively, you might do like a joint venture where maybe there's a hairdresser in your local area who already has your email database. They might, give a free gift to their database via email, which is a training plan on, how to train for the city to surf, or it might be some great recipe ideas or something. And all the hairdressers database have to do to access that is leave their email database or leave their email. So as a result, their email database then becomes your email database. The last one is putting like opt-in forms or something on your website, but that's going to help you to sort of get up to 5,000 or more emails that you can communicate to on a weekly basis. Number 4, I want to make this quick, guys, because again, you can sort of pause this and you can watch the things that are more relevant to you. And I appreciate that some of you might be doing some of these steps already, but I want you to find the ones that perhaps you're not doing that are going to help you to stand out more. So number 4, set up an automated welcome email series. So what I've sort of found is that the success of someone in our gyms is largely related to their experience in their first 30 days. If we can help them to feel safe, if we can help them to feel welcome, if we can help them to actually get off to a good start and see some results where they're more energetic or they're losing weight, what we know is they stay longer and they refer more people. So an incredible marketing strategy that helps you to stand out is when you can create these sort of raving fans. The challenge, I think, is that when we're doing all of this kind of face-to-face, it becomes tiring and it's hard to sort of scale. So I would recommend really high touch points high number of touch points in the first 30 days, but one of those or some of those touch points could be automated for you. And I think you could set up like an email, a 3 email series or something for everyone that comes into your business. You might have a video introduction on who you are and what you stand for. You might have a group training timetable. You might have a couple of testimonies from people who have done well. There's a number of different things that you can give them at the start that are going to help them to be successful and help them to be happy. Secondly, if you've got a blog, if you're actually contributing some great recipe ideas or recommendations around training, and you're adding this to a weekly or monthly blog, you're also helping to position yourself as an expert. So if I get that blog or I get that email with the blog in it, even though I'm not perhaps thinking about buying or becoming a member of your gym today, when I am ready, I'm actually going to drive past 5 other gyms to come to your gym because I'm considering you and I'm thinking of you as the expert from what I've read. All right, number 5, display a video on your website. So I recommend videos are only like 60 or 90 seconds each. I think it's really good just to introduce yourself. People find fitness intimidating. They find a lot of stereotypes. Perhaps they've had a bad experience, and a video on your website is a great way for you to just real quickly cut through all that rubbish and really show who you are rather than who they might have perceived you are. I think, that's the one about the weekly blog we spoke about. That's your opportunity to sort of position yourself as an expert as well. Number 6, offer a free report or something of value. So here's an example of a free report that's sort of targeting pre and postnatal mums. It's very targeted, very niche, and that's the idea of something of value, is that someone, when they look at that, they'll exchange their emails in return for actually getting some tips that are going to benefit them. If you can get something like an opt-in on your website that then goes into a lead page, this is obviously unrelated to the postnatal free report, but it just gives you another idea that a lead page doesn't have to be complicated. It should just outline a few more benefits, perhaps, of actually downloading that free report. But it's our opportunity to sort of capture their details so we can have some ongoing communication. I usually follow up free report, lead page into some sort of automation sequence. This is an example using Active Campaign that follows up and sort of communicates with them. I find that manual follow-ups are great and they're still really effective. But if you've got 100 members that joined this month and maybe 200 that didn't, there's a whole heap of people to follow up. And I sometimes think that the automation process gives us a little bit of life as a fitness business owner. I also find a lot of people are busy. They're not interested in picking up the phones, but instead really like it when you can reconnect via their smartphone. All right, we're almost there. Number 7, use professional and consistent branding. So I think the idea with marketing is to stand out. And I think it's really important that we create great sort of marketing ideas and PR opportunities that get our brand to sort of stand out from the competition. However, I also think it's really important that you have consistency with your brand. So when we're standing out, our people should recognize the color that our brand is associated with. We should have a certain look that our branding maintains consistently throughout. If you think of the brand like Equinox, for example, they use those sort of high quality photography. It's almost like a fashion feel. And even before you actually find the Equinox logo, you kind of know that that's an Equinox ad. And what I encourage gyms to do is kind of establish who your feel is, or what your feel is and who your target market is. Try and stand out with the, perhaps the captions or the offers or the things that sort of make you unique, perhaps in a video. Maybe be more genuine if brands aren't being that, but instead try and be really consistent with your colors and the style of actual branding you're doing. Number 8, deliver seminars and webinars. This is a great opportunity for you to show what you know. People don't want long-winded sort of stuff. Short, sharp, practical tips that they can digest, go away and implement. If you're doing that, you're going to have a lot of following with webinars, and as a result, people will connect with you and want to do business with you. One tip is I actually like to give lots of value and tips, and then I like to interview a member at the end so they get a real life sort of experience. If they can't connect perhaps with a young sort of fit trainer, that part of our staff, hopefully they can connect with maybe someone of the same age and gender as them who we interview at the end. Number 9, choose your top 10 search terms. So Google's pretty hard to compete these days. There's like, in our area, for example, I think there's like 60 gyms in a 2 kilometer radius. So, you know, you don't necessarily want to spend heaps and heaps of money on AdWords to sort of stand out. My recommendation is just be known for some key search terms. So my recommendation, go to Google Analytics and work out what are the search terms that people are using to find gyms in your local area. Of the 100 list that comes out, choose about 10 of them and use those key search terms in your blogs and on your website so that you start to be found organically for those terms. Last but not least is track the key fitness business metrics. So if you actually want to stand out with your marketing, you've got to understand what's working and what's not working. We're interested in tracking how many leads do we get each month. We're interested in tracking where did those leads come from and ranking that. So if you want to sort of stretch your marketing dollar further, if you want to stand out with your marketing, you need to put more time and energy into those marketing pillars that are actually working best for you, rather than just having a whole lot of activity and doing more. If you're interested in learning what the key fitness business metrics are that I follow, feel free to shoot me an email and I'll share those with you. So that's my question for you. Of the 10-step checklist, what are the areas that you need the most work on? Hopefully there's a couple there you're already doing, and maybe there's one out of the 10 that you've just sort of sprung up and it's given you a fresh idea. I would love it if you could implement that into your business in the next 30 days, because I know that's going to help you to stand out. And it's not just going to be the same old 1 week free offer or no joining fee that every other gym's doing. But instead, we're using those 10 marketing tips to make your brand stand out. So you don't have to spend as much. You don't have to yell louder than everyone else. Instead, people just they connect with your brand and the offer and the copy and stuff that you're using, and therefore want to do business with you. So I hope that's been helpful, guys. If you're interested in more help, you can email me at steve@gymhub.com.au. You can find some more details about the GymHub mentoring program on the website, which is gymhub.com.au. If you are interested in having a chat, just leave a few details about your business and give me a bit of a snapshot. What is it about your marketing that's maybe broken or needs improvement in order for you to grow your business right now? And I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks, guys.